Could we have the roll call, please?
Smith.
Here.
Clute.
Here.
Bragg.
Here.
Harvey.
Here.
Mayor Roberts.
Present. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I see we have our normal full house for our city commission meeting here tonight, so.
Brought the average age down.
Yeah, thank you for that. Moving on to the agenda approval. I have nothing that I need to add, I guess, unless someone else has something.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Clute.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Roberts.
Aye. Moving on to public forum. Public forum is limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per person. Please state your name and address for the record. And I know Commissioner Bragg has something for us on public forum tonight.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just wanted to give a reminder that we do have petitions available for local elections. And wanted to remind folks, if you want to be involved, there are going to be available seats in the county commission, city commission, and school board. So if you would like, the petitions are available to pick up as of now. And the deadline to file those petitions would be March 24th by 5 p.m. You can do that online, or you can stop in here to the city and we will give you the petitions and make sure that you know what you need to do to get them properly filled out. But we would encourage anyone that's interested in being involved in their local government to take the opportunity, fill out a petition, and enter into that election.
Okay, thank you for that reminder.
And that election date is now in June, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Smith?
Thank you, Mayor. On that note, I just wanted to let the public know, for anybody that might be interested, I am not planning to rerun for election to the commission. I'll be ending my 12-year, I almost called it term, but 12-year run, and it's been a wonderful experience, and for anybody that's thinking about it, they can certainly contact me to maybe hear the pros and cons, mostly pros, of serving on the commission. It's been a wonderful experience, and I encourage anybody that's interested to take a look at it, and like I said, reach out to myself or any of the other commissioners or the mayor on the ins and outs of it. So, thank you.
Okay, I want to thank Commissioner Smith for being involved for, like he said, the last 12 years. He's been very important cog on the wheel, especially in our finance department. He's done a very good job with that, and you're not done yet, so we're not going to,
No.
don't get a bit ahead yet, so, but we'll get back to that later, so.
Thank you, Mayor.
Sure thing. I have one thing for public forum tonight, and we're honored tonight to have as our guest tonight, the Pee Wee team for the Huron Hockey Association. And if you've been watching the Olympics at all, it doesn't matter what event that you watch, everybody has a story and everybody has a process of how they got to where they're at. And these young guys here, these young fellows are, I think there's boys and girls hockey, correct? Okay, so they're all young men, so they've all had a story on where they're at and how they got to where they are, but they did represent Huron in the state tournament on their own ice, and they had a very good tournament, and they won the tournament. So, very good. Congratulations to the Pee Wee hockey team from the Huron Association. So I'm going to ask you all to come up front. Coaches are Troy Matkey, Nick Reimer, and Alex Solom. Come on up. I'm sure Ben wants to get a picture. So congratulations, and thank you for representing Huron very, very well.
It was hardware there.
Not when you're trying to move. So you have a wide array.
It's a good thing to be wired. It's not a good thing to be wired.
It's fine, stay there, we're gonna go like this.
Hardware chat.
It's still for South Dakota. Right, Alex?
Should be provided.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I'm good.
I didn't, but
On Monday. Right before.
it all works.
Worked out. Don't worry about looking back up.
All right, thank you very much for coming, and again, thanks for representing us very well.
You guys don't have to stay. It's fascinating stuff if you want.
Kids are in the other office.
All right, we're going to move on to the consent agenda. Matters appearing on the consent agenda are expected to be non-controversial and will be acted upon by the commission at one time without discussion unless a member of the commission requests an opportunity to address any given item. Items removed from the consent agenda will be discussed at the beginning of the formal items. And our consent agenda tonight consists of 4.1 minutes of February 9th, 2026. 4.2 personnel items. Number 1, acknowledge that Patrol Sergeant Cole Long has completed the Field Training Office course requirements, making him eligible for a trainer wage increase. And number 2, acknowledge that part-time year-round library clerk Rhonda Yates has completed her probationary period. 4.3, consider a raffle permit filed by Alvin Schnodhorst for Make-A-Wish Foundation with a drawing date of April 30th, 2026. 4.4, consider raffle permit filed by the Huron Elks for a raffle to be held on April 18th, 2026 at the Elks Lodge. 4.5, fuel quotes for city departments. And 4.6, payment of the bills.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Luke.
Aye.
Bryan.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. Moving on to bid quote items. We're going to go on to the engineering department, and Brett, I'm going to let you take all 6 of them as you want.
All right, thank you, Mayor. We missed a Monday here, so there's a lot of things that stacked up on us, so. All right, 5.1, consider approval of bid 2026-03 street milling and overlay be awarded to Asphalt Paving Materials Company in the amount of $1,289,517.40. So we received bids on the asphalt, or the street mill and overlay project. This is our yearly project for maintenance on our streets. That bid, we had budgeted $1,292,765, so that bid is under that. So we are good with that. We recommend approval and awarding of the bid. That budget also includes the 9th Street West paving, so basically from the softball fields out to the truck route. It also includes the Broadland Creek Golf Course parking lot, and then it kind of follows around the water main work that we've done the last year and follows that. So we recommend award.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions for, yes, sir, Commissioner
Thank you.
Smith?
Thank you, Mayor. On the 9th Street expansion or overlay, will anything need to be done with that bed in that zone to prepare it, or?
So as part of the bid, we actually have a bid item in there to reshape the road. If you drive 9th Street right now, there's a heck of a washboard right now out there. So they will cut and reshape and pack the road before they pave it. So, but as far as cutting out the road and rebuilding it, it's been solid. We really haven't had much for soft spots or issues with that road. It's plenty wide. We actually probably won't be paving as wide as what it is. So.
Good. Yeah, thank you, Brent.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Luke.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. 5.2,
Consider approval of bid 2026-13 manhole spray lining be awarded to Key Contracting, Inc. And this is actually a quote rather than a bid. So it's less than $100,000. So we actually go out and receive quotes or request quotes for the work that we're looking at doing. Key Contracting has been the company in town for over 20 years doing our work. We've actually bid this in the past and had an outside company come in, and it was not good. They're now out of business, and we have manholes that are not holding up, and there's no one to warranty them necessarily. So to avoid that, we've stuck with a company that's performed well in Huron. So anyways, they come in the spring, usually, on their way to doing other jobs and get started right away. And we start with the worst manholes we have on the list, and we keep going through until the budget's gone at that $95,000 that we have budgeted. So we just recommend approval to award to Key Contracting with the unit pricing that they provided us. And that unit pricing, by the way, is in line with what they've been providing for the last 20 years with just typical inflation.
Okay.
Motion to approve. Second.
Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Luke.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. 5.3,
Consider approval of quote 2026-22 asphalt float for the street department be awarded to RDO Equipment in the amount of $9,400. And I actually have a correction on that. Since this was put on the agenda on Thursday last week, RDO actually came back and knocked off another $575, so it's actually gone down in price. But this is a quote that they provided for this piece of equipment. It actually goes on to our skid steer, our skid loader, and it's called an asphalt float. It's basically for a narrow trench or next to like the curb and gutter to do narrow work areas like that, where our paver can't get in or we can't get in with our larger equipment. It just kind of levels out the asphalt and screeds it across and packs it down. There are options out there from other people, but a lot of these are homemade. This is one of the few that's out there that's actually like built and sold through a commercial market. We only budgeted $7,500 for this item, so the new price is $8,825. So we are slightly over budget on that, so that'll need to come from reserves, but we still recommend approval and moving forward with this purchase.
Move to approve.
Second.
any further questions? Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Luke.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. And 5.4,
Consider approval of quote 2026-20 new one-ton truck for traffic department be awarded to Lamb Chevrolet in the amount of $46,642. So this is for the traffic department, Troy Merriam and what he uses. He's basically never had a new truck to work with. So this is the first time we're getting this. And so as part of this, this is off from the state bid, the truck itself, and Lamb Motors out of Oneida has that bid. So we recommend approval to that. There's actually $65,573 budgeted for this, and that's to include a service body that still has to go onto the truck. So the truck actually was going to come without the box, and then once we receive it, we'll have to take it to Safety Service in Aberdeen, and they provided a quote to put on a new service body. And that quote for that new service body is $21,930. So that equates to a total cost in the end of $68,572. So we are slightly over budget by about $3,000. Some of the cost came with this service body, and when we put budget together last year, there's a lot of different added things that go into this, and so the quote probably didn't have all those taken into account. For one, there's a Tommy gate that they put, a Tommy lift gate that goes on the back of this service body, and then there's some things that go with that. So anyways, that additional amount will need to come from reserves, but we still recommend approval and moving forward with this bid.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions on the truck? Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Clute.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Miller.
Aye. 5.5, Brett?
Consider approval of bid 2025-05 Memorial Park Baseball Building Design Build, be awarded to PSIC Construction for a maximum of $1,200,000. So this is actually not necessarily a bid, it was a proposal that was provided. We did RFPs for this design build. And this is for the new baseball building out there, the facility with the Player Development Center. And we received 2 proposals on this. We advertised and received 2 proposals on it. One was from Sioux Falls, and then there was a local one from PSIC. And we had a review committee consisting of 4 members. And we went through the city's procurement guidelines on that and scored it. And in the end, PSIC was the selected company to lead the design build on this. There really wasn't a price quoted in our proposals because we set the maximum amount at what the city had budgeted, which was $1,200,000. So it's up to that design builder to provide a proposal and to do work that remains within that budget, right? So we wanted to push creativity and do the best they could do within that allotted amount. And we believe we got that with the proposal that we've seen. Moving forward, if the commission approves accepting and awarding that proposal, and we'll go into contract with PSIC then, and then we'll have a meeting and we'll likely probably bring them to, we'll either bring them or we'll actually show the commission in some work session and go through the layout and different concept designs. Right now, everything is just really conceptual, so there's not a lot to discuss there. We kind of got to work through that with maybe the first 30% design meeting. So, but we recommend moving forward and awarding that.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions for Brett on this?
I have a question. I see the 1.2 million, wasn't the city, didn't we budget 1 million? And then the 200,000 is from outside sources? The committee, I was just curious. It was just 1 million?
Yeah, that, for clarity, correct.
Yeah.
I believe the city budgeted $1,050,000, and then the $150,000 was to come from outside sources, whether that be baseball or where that
Yeah.
comes from, right? Donations.
I was just,
So when I said budget, I should have clarified you. Thank you. That's the budget for the project, but that's not necessarily what the city budgeted. But that's when we're looking at this as a project from engineering of what we're working on. Our budget is 1.2.
I knew that the outside, the Little League or
Mhm.
baseball committees were going to help with that, but I was just wanting a clarification that that was what we budgeted.
Yep.
Thank
Yep.
you.
And also for clarity, they'll need more funds in addition to that because this will be the facility, but inside that facility, there's gonna be equipment that's necessary. Chad could answer any questions there, but there will be the batting cages, trying to think through, I mean, the bathrooms will be established. Concession.
Concession stands.
And then potentially the announcing press box.
You're right.
Correct. Yep. So there'll be some of those added, but everything else, the stainless steel countertops and service windows and the building itself will all be there. Yep. We did also included with this as part of, when we received from PSIC originally, we we hired them to put together a concept to say, hey, can we build this, is this this idea, right? And one of the things that I incorporated into the RFP is it won't be a FEMA storm shelter, because that was our original intent out there, was to build a FEMA storm shelter, but we will have a safe area for storms, I guess. It won't necessarily meet all FEMA criteria, but it'll be a block structure for the bathroom area where they're able to provide some safety.
Thank you.
Do we have any kind of a timeline on this, Brett, or?
Yeah, thank you for asking that. That's a good question. So the main goal here is basically done by the end of the year. So we're looking to basically be done with construction by end of October, beginning of November. So giving them that open opportunity.
Good.
And the player development center, obviously they don't need the playing field until the following season.
Right.
But part of why we're saying this year, they would like to potentially have the player development center ready by the winter of next year.
Yes. Good.
But we didn't guarantee that, but that would be the goal.
Okay, sure. Any other questions? Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Clue.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robichaud.
Aye. And 5.6, Brett.
Okay, consider approval of quote 2026-21 Splash Central Pool Finishes Repair be awarded to Global Specialty Contractors, Inc. in the amount of $90,205.44 and authorize the mayor to sign. So this again is a quote that's been provided to the city. It's under the 100,000 threshold. We worked with, actually when I say we, I should say Chad and his team has been working with Global Specialty Contractors they inspected the site last year, I believe it was, and seen the work that needs to be done on, this would include the Laser River, the leisure pool, and the 50-meter pool, and then they put together a quote. The intent is to have this all complete this spring and before opening date. There is basically a priority level. They want to do the Lazy River and the leisure pool first, for sure. And if they can't get to the 50-meter pool and get it done before opening date, then they need to delay that until the fall. But they've indicated that they can do it all and plan to do it all by that opening date.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions on 5.6?
So just to fill that last bit out that Brett mentioned, I appreciate you getting that. Chad has been very specific. We know that the days that we can use our pool are precious, and so we wanted to make sure that there's two different provisions that Chad and Brett put into the contract. One says if they don't get it done and have to come back, there's no additional mobilization. And two says if they're getting towards the end with that priority, the last pool they would do is the 50-meter, and if they can't have that done for opening, they're not supposed to start demolition. So those were two provisions that Chad specifically wanted in there to make sure that we don't have a situation where they get to working on it and then say, whoops, we can't open on time. So these guys have worked really well together to make sure that we're protected there so the pool will open on time. And again, as Brett stated, the contractor wasn't too worried about those provisions because they feel very confident that they'll have it done with no difficulty anyway. But I do appreciate the work that these guys put in to make sure that that was protected.
In addition to that, just for, so May 15th is that date that we have. You can only push the contractor so far because they were the only, we received two quotes last year and they were the cheapest quote and they were the only ones that were under the $100,000 threshold, right? So they, but they're confident, they agreed to these terms. We also have included if they, for some reason, did begin work on like the 50-meter pool and they didn't have it complete and we were opening, they'll be responsible to reimburse whatever revenue that we lost because of that. Not being able to open, basically.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? Call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Clue.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robichaud.
Aye. Moving on to petitions and communications. 6.1, Brett, I think you have one more to go.
Final one. Consider maintenance and encroachment agreement with the State of South Dakota Department of Transportation for work being performed on SD Highway 37 from 9th Street South to 21st Street South project and authorize the mayor to sign. So this is an encroachment agreement that the DOT provided us. It is basically verbatim of the last encroachment agreement that we signed for the North project, which would have been from 3rd Street North to 9th Street South, right? We did have some things that we didn't necessarily agree with in there, but when we tried to fight them on it, they basically come back and their attorneys and said, take it or leave it. So with that same language is in here, there really wasn't any reason to rehash that discussion. And so it's basically the same terms. There's the shared use path that they have some requirements for the city on. It's the traffic signals that we take care of and maintain. And then there are also some fees back and forth because the city is working on this project in conjunction with the state. We'll be doing a sanitary sewer replacement job. So then there becomes some fees, like for instance, we have some concrete panels that need to be removed and replaced that go beyond the DOT's limits to finish our project out. So they put together a cost to that and we have to reimburse the DOT on that. There's also some standard language in there that our project's worth this much, you know, by the estimate, and DOT's project is worth, you know, this much by their estimate. So they've figured out what that mobilization percentage should be. And so when bids come in, that mobilization percentage is skewed because we will receive a separate bid from the DOT. They're bid together, but we'll receive separate bids. If that mobilization is skewed, that money gets paid back and forth. So like for instance, this last project, there was additional cost on the city's project for mobilization that was beyond that percentage. So once this current project, which is the downtown area, is completely wrapped up and closed, we will be billing the DOT for $200,000, I think, about, to make sure that that mobilization is shared, that cost between the two projects. So that's kind of some of the general language, very typical of these DOT projects and agreements that we signed through the community before. So.
Okay,
Move to approve.
Second.
okay, any comments, questions? Commissioner Smith?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a reminder, this project is slated to happen in 2027, correct?
Correct, unless the DOT pushes again, which we're kind of at. I mean, we really want to do our project in 27. We've already moved some budget to do some of that, but they really control that schedule, and we won't know that until this summer. I believe they have their meetings. They feel confident that this project's going to go, you know, for 27, but it all just depends on projects and priority ratings of the other projects that DOT is trying to do. But the intended schedule is 27. And plans, the city basically, we have our portion of the plans 99% complete, essentially. DOT is in the same spot, and we're reviewing through that. Their intent would probably be to bid this fall. So.
And do you know, as that approaches, Brett, are they planning to have any kind of a public meeting or something along the lines of what they did for the first phase?
I do believe there'll be one public meeting, I think, like they did. That first phase was that was almost during COVID era, I believe, and when that meeting was actually online. Since then, they've started doing more of those, right, where they didn't do it necessarily in person. But there will be a meeting, I believe, of that.
Just for a public, maybe not so much public input, but public informational meeting, I guess is what I'm looking for.
Yep, and if they don't do a meeting, the city would probably schedule some sort of a meeting because we want to get out in front. We're replacing the sanitary sewer service down Dakota Avenue, or the sanitary sewer main down Dakota Avenue, but we're not replacing the services. We're taking the services to the curb line, and then from there, if residents would want to do replacement of their sewer service, or if they want to do anything with their water services, because we're actually not touching the water line, that would be upon them. So we want to basically inform them here so that they can plan accordingly, budget for that work that's coming.
Yeah.
I think they had, 2 meetings already?
Yeah, they
Because
had the
I
one
know
they-
it's already been changed because of one of them, the project has.
had all the trees and all that they've had some in-person public meetings.
The city has had a meeting, and DOT, I believe, has had one meeting. So the city had one and they had one, but the city had a meeting where we wanted to discuss, we went through the trees and verified that with the homeowners. Some wanted them moved this way or that, or didn't want one at all, because we will be on this project basically down to 15th Street, Chad, I think, from 9th Street to 15th Street, replacing the trees again back behind the sidewalk.
Good. Thank you.
But did you want to add a little bit about that grant thing, with Denver window of the tower?
Yeah, so that adds a level, so there is a grant that Chad has received, I believe it's $50,000 for those trees. If this project gets pushed another year, we'll have to look at what we're gonna do with that, because that grant expires at the end of 2027, so.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Let's see, roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Hope.
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Hi. Thank you, Brett, for all that info. Moving on to 6.2, I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Cranston.
Thank you, Mayor. 6.2 is to consider the quitclaim deed and certificate of real estate value from GHDC to the city of Huron for lot 15 of Broadland Creek residential subdivision to the city of Huron. This lot is up in the Broadland Creek area in that development. This is not in the Dogleg subdevelopment. This is the original Broadland Creek. And it's one of the lots that are to the west of the actual entrance up there. I believe it was owned by one of the, a Whiff family, I believe. And they have decided apparently not to build on it, is my understanding. So Greater Huron is bringing it back to us to hold their name, so we'd recommend approval. Anything else you want to add?
You got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Any questions for Barry or Ted or anything on this?
I have a question. Is that the lot that's between two houses? I think Steve Sharon's and Chad Wild's. Is that lot?
Correct. Yes, that is that lot.
Okay.
Yep, we have
There's a
a
bare lot
covenant
there.
in place that requires the start of construction within 36 months. Reached out to the buyer, they indicated they were not gonna build. Things changed in the economy, interest rates went up, costs went up, everything else, so we reacquired the lot and turning it back to the city to relist.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
Didn't have your little map up there, so I wasn't sure.
Anything else? Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Hope.
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. And 6.3, Barry?
Okay, this is to consider approval of the plat for Ray and Deanna Glanzer, Lot A, BL Eden, First Edition, part of the Northwest Quarter, Section 19, Township 110, Range 61. This area is zoned B3 in the general business, and part of it, part of the new area being platted is in the Ag Fringe Protection District. This land is located down south next to the Glanzer's new AA Motorsports new shop area being built on 33rd Street, right there. And this adds a small parcel to the existing plat. There were initially two plats presented to the Joint Planning Commission, and the first plat established the legal address for the parcel that is being added into the existing parcel to create a legal address for the conveyance. And then this plat actually, since that was a really an ag land that was platted, that went to the county for their approval. This body doesn't act on ag parcels. And so what this does is this actually brings it into a B3 business district, and so that's why it's in front of this body, and it consolidates and vacates the previous two plats. So was kind of technical in its approach, but it had to be done to create that legal address just to convey the lot to the Glanzers from the Eden family.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions for Commissioner Smith?
Thank you, Mayor. So currently, Mr. Glanzer owns vacated Lot 1 and vacated Lot 2.
That's
So
correct.
We're just bringing those together
We're
as
just
one
bringing those
legal-
together under Lot A, and it's being replatted, and that plat will go in front of the Planning Commission in March.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Clute.
Aye.
Craig.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. Moving on to departmental items. 8.1, consider approval of solid waste rate corrections for 3 and 4 yard containers. Pauline, do you have that
Yep, I do.
update?
I do.
Okay.
Thank you. Just quick, there was some adjustments that need to be made in the rates resolution that we did in the fall. There was a formula and some rounding errors in the spreadsheet that was given. So we just want to make sure where everybody knows we billed the correct amounts in January, and just want to get these approved so we can make sure the rates are correct.
Okay.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Any questions on that? Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Clute.
Aye.
Craig.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. And 8.2, consider recommendation to authorize the Human Resources to proceed with the solid waste recruitment and transition plan with an updated job descriptions. And we have with us in the front already, our HR Director, Shauna Starrett.
Thank you, Mayor, City Commissioners. A few weeks ago, Solid Waste Superintendent Dale Fortin presented a proposed recruitment and transition plan for an assistant solid waste superintendent to allow ample training prior to his retirement. Okay. So tonight, I'm asking approval for Human Resources to proceed with that plan. For your consideration, I have a job description for an assistant solid waste superintendent. This would be a salaried position exempt from overtime. It is temporary, it does not replace the foreman position. Once the solid waste superintendent retires, this assistant superintendent would move right into that superintendent position. Taking a look at organizational structure of other solid waste departments in first-class municipalities, I did compare job descriptions, compensation, the structure of their overall departments, and just to make sure that we're aligning our solid waste proposed recruitment plan, making sure it's comparable with other similar solid waste operations. So budgeting wise, we will not go over budget. We do have that vacant foreman position. We had a very tenured person in that position when they retired. The proposed salary would be less than what that foreman was making when they were still here, so we do not anticipate going over budget at all. A timeline for the assistant superintendent, I am very hopeful that on April 20th, I will have a hiring recommendation for you. Okay. With this plan, I felt it would be an opportune time to update the solid waste maintenance job description as well. That job description is also included in your packet. It's changing the job title from a maintenance to operator 1, 2, and 3. It's updating duties that they're already currently performing, and updates language for ADA and FLSA requirements, that kind of thing. So I guess with that, I'm asking for approval for Human Resources to proceed with the plan.
Motion to approve.
And I second.
Any questions, comments on the plan? Thank you for putting it, go ahead.
Sorry, in terms of budget, so right now, we're fine, because we're gonna be, this will just be a short-term position until the new now. Moving forward, similar, this was patterned a little bit after what we did in the police department, so
Correct.
moving forward, we would continue to operate with both a superintendent and assistant superintendent. Do you believe down the road, eventually, that will be a higher wage category, total wage probably than the way we've been operating? Would that be safe?
Yep, so the assistant superintendent position is a one grade below what our superintendent is at. So when the superintendent retires, the assistant would move up to that relevant grade. And then they would also they would hire a foreman at entry level.
So net, when this is all said and done, it will lead to better performance and increased stability in the department, but there will be some budget impact to it.
Yes, yes, there will eventually.
Thank you.
Very true.
Okay. Anything else? Thanks for all the work, Shauna.
Scale.
I was gonna say, this was quite a joint effort between Human Resources, Finance, Solid Waste, Commissioner Clute, and our city attorney.
Mhm.
Oh, yes, our city attorney as well.
Yes. Can't forget him.
All right, roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Luke.
Aye.
Craig.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Roberts.
Aye. That completes all our business tonight, but before I adjourn, I want to go back and I want to apologize to Mr. Glanzer. I see he's in the audience. Is there anything that you wanted to add to your